I doubt you're just another bad guy. Why don't you just tell me what really happened?
They took one look at me and decided I was the guy.
That guy could still be out there. I have some friends that could help.
We are gonna need a confession from Dr. Shrinker.
I think we got bigger problems.
You okay, guys?
We're 2 inches tall, Caitlin! Yeah, I'm like Cisco size now.
You still don't know I get this height.
You guys are going in the hamster cage.
It's a whole new way of looking at physics. It will change the way that we think about everything. It's a whole new way of looking at physics. It will literally change the way that we think about everything.
You know, it's more than just karma. It's the principle of infinite consequence at work in our lives. And it's always expanding, creating positive sums on an infinite basis.
Hey everybody, we got new Flash to break down, and next week's episode, thankfully, will continue teasing out the mystery of a lot of the bigger things that we've seen the last couple of weeks, behind the scenes and in the episodes. We got those mystery symbols at the end of last week's episode. There's also the idea that women on the show who are either confirmed pregnant or might be pregnant have temporary powers, which I know sounds confusing, but I'll try to explain it. There's also a new round of that Flash Ring giveaway. All you have to do to enter, just be a subscriber and share the video using those tools on the watch page there. So let's start with the actual footage that we see in the trailer first. There's a lot of stuff that they didn't put in this, but you have Barry trying to help out Goldberg because he was wrongfully accused of murder. The cops just decided that I was the guy, so that provides the tip-off for Team Flash to go after the real culprit who winds up being the meta of the episode, who, because Goldberg has been in prison for a long time, doesn't sound like he's going to be one of the bus metas, even though it's been a little while since we've touched with one of the bus metas, and there's supposed to be 12 total. Maybe they'll roll like 3 out at once if they fall behind pace. But they're doing that very Honey, I Shrunk the Kids thing, Honey, I Shrunk Team Flash. I haven't watched those movies in a long time, but the whole idea is that he's a meta who's supposed to be able to shrink people by touching them. But in the trailer, he seems like he's more ex-military, like he shoots the gun at them, and it seems like the gun is what's shrinking them. So it's still a little confusing about how his powers work. They haven't revealed what his name is, so we don't know if he's a comic book character, but we do know that Barry actually says the name of an Arrow villain from the Black Canary Arrow comics from a long time ago, which is kind of funny. So minor Arrow crossover, turns out there's an Arrow villain somewhere inside prison here. Like he says, Dodger. Dodger was one of those really despicable characters that helped out Team Arrow in the comics briefly. He had a lot of technology, but he wasn't like a super powerful meta or anything like that. He had like his electric mace. He has some technology that they call Deus Ex Machina, which just takes people out over a wide radius, so I don't think they're going to do anything crazy with the character. The writers have explained in the past that sometimes, like when they do their final pass on the script, if there are a lot of characters and they just have like a long list of names that they can give them that somehow ties them to the comics in a really creative way, then they'll do that. But it seems like Dodger of the TV show will just wind up being part of one of these prison gangs. Like they're really focusing on Goldberg as being the big character with Barry in here, in addition to the Warden and the bus metas, who we still haven't seen since Barry's been in prison there. But he's in Gen Pop, they're in the Metahuman wing, so maybe if he's still in there in the next 2 weeks, then we'll bump into them, because it would be weird for you to go to Iron Heights without touching on some of the big people that they locked up at the beginning of the season.
How will I survive in here without my Kindle?
You ain't touching anything electronic ever again. There's 3 layers of signal dampening walls between you and the world. No wiring, not even a light bulb.
There's technology everywhere these days.
As far as Goldberg's character, I don't think they're doing any huge comic book storyline. When he was first introduced, he was taken advantage of by the Rogues. He was like a simple-minded person. The Rogues tricked him into thinking that the Flash did something terrible, so he went after the Flash, but then eventually found the truth out. He became part of the Suicide Squad later in the comics. It was just sort of a minor character, but I think they're just trying to prove that Barry is still trying to be the Flash, even though he's behind bars. Like, he's always going to try and help people, and that will come back around maybe by the end of the season. Who knows if he'll come back, but if Barry clears his name, maybe they'll pay that off in the next couple of episodes. Like, you helped get me out of prison, so I'm gonna do you a big solid too that will help him out with his fight against the Thinker. So circling back around to Iris, Dawn West, Cecile, and babies at the end of the season, part of the episode description reads that Cecile temporarily gets powers from her pregnancy, specifically gets powers because she's pregnant. It's the ability to read minds, and they say that it's disconcerting to Joe, meaning that she'll just hear him thinking things that he doesn't want her to know, like he's really bummed out about Barry, or just really awkward things that put Joe in a weird situation, like just using it for straight up comedy. But like I said, they tee up abilities really early in the season, like give you this really funny idea like Iris being sucked into the Speed Force with Barry in the middle of that trial room. How is this possible? Well, we'll probably explain it later this season. So the last couple of days, everyone's seen Iris West wearing a very excess looking costume from behind the scenes that might imply that she gets powers like Cecile because she might be pregnant, and that would explain how she's able to exist in the Speed Force in this moment with Barry.
What's happening?
We're moving so quickly that everyone else is still.
How are you able to do this with me?
I actually don't know.
I know it's a little confusing, like why would they give them temporary powers? What's the whole point of that? Well, it's all in service, I think, of we're going to need more diapers. And I think that mystery person at the end of the episode here from the future writing down Speed Force symbols, she's one of those babies. So it all makes sense when you stack it together. Barry comes out of the Speed Force writing symbols. You see people on the show getting powers temporarily because of pregnancy when you normally wouldn't expect those people to get powers. And then you see somebody mysteriously come from the future that knows a lot about the characters, but who we've never seen before and is trying to act like she's a total stranger.
You two, total strangers. You know we're short on cash, and then someone just steps out of the blue and helps out in a totally random way.
So what'll happen is either Thursday or Friday, I'll do a video trying to explain who that person is and how this all ties together, like people getting mystery powers, what the Speed Force symbols are all about, and how this might help them in their fight against the Thinker. Because remember, they're not just doing it to introduce characters like Bart Allen or the Tornado Twins. All of these separate plot lines that seem like they have no connection will all tie together by the last couple of episodes.
Alan always pays.
Oh my god.
No worries.
Usually by the time you head into the finale, you already know what all the big mysteries are, and then what they'll do, like the big surprise of the finale, is teeing up what's going to happen during the next season. So I do think a lot of the stuff that they're doing right now, these big mysteries, the Dawn Allen person from the future, is teeing up Season 5 stuff, but we really won't find out what they're actually going to do with Season 5 till the last couple of episodes of the season. So what'll happen next is I'll do my Black Lightning video. We also found out when we're getting a new Deadpool trailer, and there might be a new Han Solo trailer sometime this week. So I'll name that new giveaway winner when I post that Black Lightning video in a couple hours. Click here for my Flash Easter eggs, and click here for that Iris West Speedster teaser. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.